What will you question after you leave this space? What will you do to ascertain change? What have you done yesterday to make today a better day? What kind of roads and trails are you willing to blaze? How will you create love and not hate?
Skateboarding is a worldwide door to communicate with each other. I mean, it doesn't matter where we come from, what struggle we went through, because someone else is going through the same struggle, but we all got the love for skateboarding. And that's the key to everything with skateboarding. We wouldn't speak the same language, but we all know how to skateboard. Skateboarding speaks one language, and that's bonding, love there.
It's true. When we work together, there's always something beautiful that comes out. So I like working with Tasha, so I like skating with Tasha, so I like hanging out with Tasha. And not just Tasha, that goes for everybody. That goes for the rest of the team. You know, you can be the biggest asshole in the world and be the best skater. But that, just because you're the best skater in the world, won't get you on Apache Skateboards. You gotta be really cool and down to earth and have that PMA that positive mental attitude. And you kind of gotta just fit. And we always know when you just fit, you know. Our intuition's good like that when you just fit. And that's why we're so tight. We always carry a certain respect for each other. And that respect and friendship and love goes a long way. You know, it keeps us moving forward with like unity. You know, we're like a pact. Or we're like a pack. We have a pact, you know, but we're like a pack. So, yeah.
I remember my first drug and what a struggle it was. My mom learned by watching and helping, you know, finish the textile at the end, where I actually learned from verbal and visual instruction. So she sat me down in front of the loom and actually said, you know, this is how you do this is how you do that. Now it's your turn, you try it. So it was really frustrating because I didn't catch on right away. And so I would leave myself like little notes, but I would hide them underneath my loom so my mom didn't see her, because I didn't want her to see my notes and that I didn't know what I was doing, but I still wanted to be able to show her that I at least, you know, caught on in some other way. So it was really frustrating. I remember sitting at my loom crying a lot, and my mom would really, you know, be like, just try it, just do it, and then if it doesn't look right, then you just take it out and redo it. But I was so apprehensive about taking it out because, you know, just doing the actual process takes so long. And even when you're a little kid, you know, like, man, if I mess up, I'm gonna have to take all this out. You know, it's that sense of urgency, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like feeling defeated by something, but you know, that feeling went away, especially like when you figure out how to do something and that light bulb finally comes on. So it's a great feeling knowing that you've completed a piece, or knowing that, you know, your ideas are in a almost finalized palette.
Yeah, that's
Put it on the gallery.
like these galleries and
We can show it in the next couple of months. She'd rather just leave it here.
Okay.
So I told her that'd be fine because Leslie really wanted to show her work again.
Okay.
So, but here's her work.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I don't know much about textile, but I love Melissa's work, and Melissa's awesome.
It's not always going to be the older people who are going to have to carry this on, and it's nice knowing that, you know, there are people who look to me for the knowledge that's, you know, that evolves around this art form, because not a lot of people know about it. in terms of the history, the process just to set it up, the process of actually creating the textile. It's a wealth of knowledge, and I'm like so proud and honored that I've developed this knowledge over, the last 20 years. And of course, there's so many people who've contributed to that. My mom, my aunts, my grandma, just other leaders that I've been able to have conversation with. For so long, I tried so hard not to title my work. I always kept it as, Germantown Sampler, Eye Dazzler, Wide Ruins, Burnt Water. Even though beyond that, I had a certain emotional attachment to it, or I had a certain thesis behind the work, I never really incorporated that into how I gave it to the rest of the world. It was always just labeled as something very, black and white. So with my current work, I'm actually titling my work, and I'm glad that I've been able to move into that realm, because it's finally me. I'm giving myself, I guess, to a wider audience instead of keeping myself so, closed off and so separated. There's only me and my work here. There's nothing else. It's just me and every raw emotion that comes is laid out in front of me. And it feels good. It feels good to be able to finally have complete control of process, complete control of material, complete control of creative intuition, because I don't have to necessarily have everything being tied to traditional styles, traditional design, because I'm creating my own tradition. I'm Navajo. I have the right to create whatever I want. I have the right to label it Navajo tradition. Like this right here, this is Navajo tradition. Look, if you look back at me in 50 years and 75 years and 100 years, this is what's going to be seen as tradition. And I have the right to make whatever I want. And I think, the mentality of being able to skate, do whatever you want, it's all kind of the same mentality that I have with my work, is that I can create when I want to create. I can cut up my work, I can destroy it, I can make it into a beautiful piece. It's all in my hands now. And I think that's the great thing about this medium. It's, even though it's so meticulous, it's so time consuming, I still have, with every pull of each thread, I have the chance to change the design and take it wherever I want to take it. So that's me as a textile artist.
They think we all live on reservations, or we all live in teepees, and you go to the reservation and it's like, they're just regular houses, trailers, just regular people,
It was more like a random idea.
I hadn't always wanted to become a filmmaker. I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and then I wanted to be a professional skateboarder. Then I wanted to be a physicist. And then one day, something inside me said I wanted to make a film about this. My first film I ever made was that one about my Lakota spirituality. It was for a final project in high school about my Lakota culture, because a lot of the kids was predominantly non-native. However, there was a high native population because I lived in Rapid City, South Dakota, which is near Pine Ridge, South Dakota. So there's a lot of Lakota kids there, and all they did was drink, smoke, hang out. None of those kids really did anything positive with their lives. That's all the white people there saw was us natives being lazy and not doing much with our lives. Because a lot of the native people that are there, I still feel like they oppress themselves by victimizing themselves. We can't do that anymore. So, because that's all the non-natives saw was that side of our people, I wanted to show them something different. I wanted them to know that we do have a rich culture and that it's not all lost, and that some of us do still care about where we come from and how we live. So I made a film about that, my Lakota culture and spirituality, and I showed it to my class. And to my surprise, all the white kids were like, I didn't even know anything about this, a lot of those kids didn't even know about the massacre of Wounded Knee. And they live an hour and a half from the massacre site. And I opened up a lot of people's eyes to culture. And then that's when I found the love in filmmaking. I was like, wow, I just opened the eyes of 25 kids who had no idea how rich, my culture is. Mount Rushmore. So 1890, massacre of Wounded Knee. They killed 300 Lakota men, women, children, elderly. Because we're like the last Indians to resist, they made that mountain, Mount Rushmore. And I feel like it's like biggest fuck you, like the government, has done to us, because it's like, okay, we took your land, now we're gonna carve the heads of the people who said it was okay to take your land, who gave you the green light to kill us all. Yeah, that's like a gang term, green light. Green light, that's like, kill them all. Anyways, so, like, basically, that's what Mount Rushmore is, An infrastructure of insecurity, my exoskeleton, it fronts a false identity. But what is really true? And how do I do when it seems that I cannot live without you, because you is I and I am me without my eyes, I cannot see without my mind, I am not me.
Because of this, I am not a victim of my mother and father's byproductism, so I cherish the given, loving the life that I'm living, resisting all that pessimism that exists within my fists. Anger is not an issue of the present, the moment is a gift, so I don't ever regret it. For I have seen and received so many things that I cannot perceive. Experience is such a necessity, and life is not even about that adversity. For I have taken advantage of all that dysfunctionality that has accumulated over time by writing down lines and lines of reverberating rhymes so I can sit and speculate all my apathy and hate just so I can realize what really lies behind my eyes and my mind. For I don't choose to calculate every moment of time that passes by me. It is too much for me to think and comprehend of all that crazy bullshit of my life that tends to sink beyond the buoyancy of my own happiness. It's my tool to grow, for I am water and I choose to flow. Flowing through the cracks of all my imperfections. Every obstacle of mine is a quiet blessing, and I am blessed. I am here to rest. No more running, no more crying, no more fighting, lying, or objectifying. I am done and I am through until next time.
Giselle, you're being summoned.
Okay, I'm in the middle of the street.
Okay. Okay, you're being summoned now, though. We're really busy.
Okay. I got sick, you guys.
Lozen was an Apache woman warrior. She was far ahead of her time. Not only was she a warrior, but she was a visionary. She used her powers to help her people escape the army as well as other enemies. And I heard that it was given to her at a traditional puberty ceremony. She took it upon herself to lead her people, and that was really uncommon back in the day because women were more in the traditional roles of taking care of the family and staying at the village and providing. And she really went against all the norms of what traditional Native women were. And for me, when I think of Lozen, I think of her Apache spirit, her aggressiveness. And when I'm out here in the world and sometimes I think about, like, what would Lozen do, or, what would Geronimo do? And, you kind of like think about what your heroes would do, and you look to them for strength. And it's important for me to have someone to look up to, and that we have these women figures in our tribe. She inspires me because she did what she had to do. She was a fighter, and she did everything for her people. And so I look to Lozen for inspiration and power, and to call upon that Apache spirit in what I do in my life. And that's very important to have, like I said, to
have a role model or somebody to look up to like that.
Action, Lynette.
I remember riding on a horse, galloping at full speed, my adrenaline pumping, the wind in my hair, the warmth of the sun beating down on my face, the wind howling and whipping on my face. My heart beat like the ancient drums. It raced because I knew the enemy, the people who killed my brother, my sisters, my mother, my fathers, my people. They were just on the other side of that ridge. And I knew what I had to do. I know what I will do. I must avenge my people. I must fight. We all must continue to fight. We must fight against them with everything we have. Our guns, our knives, our hands, our minds. I don't want to be in prison for someone to come into my homeland and regulate where I should live on a reservation, to tell me how I should be, to try to take away my essence of life, liberty. I'd rather fight and die to really live the way we were always meant to be, to really live free. The day they killed my brother, Vittorio, first thing I did was cut my hair. And then I wept for a day. The next day, at the wake of sunrise, I prayed to the Creator. Prayed for the strength and wisdom to protect my people. I vowed revenge. I rode with the men. I fought alongside them. I fought with Geronimo. He looked to me for guidance. The power the Creator gave to me was to protect us and the generations thereafter. When I raised my hands to the sky, the power within me showed me where the enemies lied. My hands would tremble, and I could see the enemy coming. And I did this for Geronimo many times. The warriors allowed me to be a part of the war council. They looked to me, and I fought aside them, for they were my brothers, and I their sister. We fought to get our people out of the reservations. We fought for our freedom. There were times of peace. There were times of war. But they never captured us. Not when we were fighting. I will be your worst enemy because I am Apache. I am a warrior. I am Lozet.
like cigarettes.
Bring it on. Yeah. I'm sorry.
First fall ain't as bad. It's the getting up that's you gotta learn. With like all of it, it's a life lesson too. Something get in your way, keep at it. Get over it. Say that skateboarding really turned my life around. If I didn't skate, I'd probably be in trouble still. So I'm really happy that skateboarding came along.
Of Lowe's Ends today. Me and my friends, we have, as an artist, my paintbrush or my scripts or my acting. Those are my weapons. Those are our weapons. Native female filmmakers, that's their weapons today. I think there's still that spirit out there of women warriors, and it's just a different time. It's a different context, but it's all the same. It's just we have different weapons now.